Hey guys, it's Cath here from Best Coffee. I have with me the fantastic Wilfa Uniform Grinder, and I'm going to tell you all about its features and show you how to use it. So there's a reason why this grinder is so good, and it's because it was developed in conjunction with Tim Wendelboe. Now Tim is a World Barista Champion and a World Cup Tasters Champion, so it's safe to say that he knows what he's talking about when it comes to coffee, and it certainly shows with this grinder. So one of the biggest features of this grinder is that it will grind for filter coffee and for espresso coffee. So there's not a lot of home coffee grinders that will actually do this, and usually you'd have to have a dedicated espresso coffee grinder and a dedicated filter coffee grinder. But not anymore, this guy will do both. I would just say that if you make a lot of espresso coffee at home, that you would still want to have a separate espresso grinder so that you can make those super fine adjustments. However, for the rest of us, this guy is perfect. So let's have a look at him. You can see this is the adjustment collar at the top here, and I've currently got it on 1, which is the finest setting. To adjust it, all you need to do is spin the adjustment collar around. It's got an impressive 41 steps, so here we are all the way up to 41, and that is the coarsest setting. The other really big feature of this coffee grinder is its superb grind quality, and it's because of the flat burrs. So flat burrs produce a ground coffee particle size that's really uniform, and it means you get a high quality extraction and a better tasting coffee, compared to conical burrs, which produce a less uniform ground coffee particle size. So you get kind of big pieces of coffee and small pieces of coffee, and that gives you a more uneven extraction. So this is a really big deal because you're going to have better tasting coffee at home, and you won't have had to do anything. It's all because of this grinder. To have a look at those burrs, all you need to do is keep turning the adjustment collar in the coarse direction, and eventually it will come off and you'll be able to see the burrs. So let's have a look. Okay. So you can see these are the flat burrs. I don't know if you can see it here. To use the grinder, it really couldn't be any easier. All you need to do is put it on your desired grind setting, weigh out your coffee beans, put them in, and push go. It has an auto off sensor, so you literally just turn it on, walk away, and it turns it off for you when it's done grinding. So you can do more important things. The coffee grinds into the chamber just down the bottom here. It has a steel casing, so there's hardly any static, and you don't get those tiny little bits of coffee flying around everywhere. It's nice and neat. So there we go, all done. To clean your grinder, you need to access the burrs. So the first step is to make sure that it is disconnected from power. And then to access the burrs, just twist the adjustment collar in the direction of coarseness and keep going until it eventually twists off. Your grinder will come with a little brush, but also you can just use a little paintbrush. And what you want to do is just brush off any of the loose or stuck coffee grounds. Okay, if there's any in here as well, you can just dislodge them, give them a little brush, and then reassemble. Take care not to get any coffee grounds in the thread, because that will make it really difficult to twist back on, so just be a little bit careful with that. And twist it back on. Make sure you go all the way down. Okay, setting 1, and then adjust to where you need it to be. For the body, just brush with a dry cloth. Microfiber is good if you've got it. If there's any kind of bits that you can't buff out, just a teeny tiny touch of water, but no chemicals, nothing super damp. Just give it a nice brush and you're done. This grinder comes in two versions. So there's the Wilfa Uniform, which I just showed you, and there's also the Wilfa Uniform Plus, which has an additional cool feature. The lid is actually a set of scales, and there's also an app. So if you have the Wilfa Uniform Plus, which has the scales actually connect to the app. But if you don't have that one, you can still download the app, and there's lots of really cool brewing tips on there from Tim Wendelboe himself to help you find your perfect grind setting for however you're making coffee at home. And that's it. The Wilfa Uniform, it's a great grinder, does filter, espresso coffee. It's got flat burrs, so you have superior grind quality, and you can make a great tasting cup of coffee with very little extra effort using this guide. Thanks very much.